Hello, online crew. How are we today? I have the beautiful Sarah Nimarota with me today. So, hello, Sarah. Thank you for joining us today. Please say hello to Sarah, everyone. I think we're live in I just want to check the group as well. We're live in the
I was loving that intro. I was bopping along. My gosh, that's fantastic.
It actually gets me going before my lives. I just sort of sit here and have a bit of a boogie to myself. Exactly. So everybody, those of you that are catching live or catching the replay, we do have a lot of replay viewers as well. I wanted to have a chat with Sarah today because Sarah is doing phenomenal things in the industry. I'm very fortunate to work, with Sarah, in our company. But just to give you an insight as to what it takes to be successful in this day and age, and we're in an environment where things are a little bit strange in the industry for some, isn't that right, Sarah? It's a strange time. We all know what happened a couple of weeks ago, I guess, with, a really big company in the industry going under, no warning. You were in that company. So I can just imagine the shock that, you must have had. The industry can be very unstable. And a lot of people are nervous about what's happening in the industry. But you are testament to the fact that you can build 7 figures in 8 months, which is no mean feat. That's incredible. So I just want to pick your brain. I want to sort of ask you some questions and sort of let our audience know what are some of the things that you believe make a difference with being successful in the industry, today, that have helped you, get the results that you have. So for those that don't know, sorry.
It's so interesting. I'm just picking up on what you were saying before. Like you were saying, a lot of people are worried about the industry. The industry's fine. The industry's changing, and it's changing for the better, and it needs to change. You can't get to where you want to go by staying the way that we are. And industries do change, and they do have a shake-up. No one thought that my old company would shut its doors, but I did leave for a reason. And so, I'd love to talk about that today, because I think there's some telltale signs, things you need to look for to be able to make it. But people should feel comfortable that it's changing. It's a good thing.
Yeah. And I think it's a very valid point for our discussion today. Like, we have to change and pivot. The industry has to change and pivot. Change is good. And the industry is thriving. You've just got to have the right combination of things and be aware of the signs. So, before I kind of pick your brain a bit, can you just share, those here that don't know you, just share us a little bit about your history in the industry and, what's your journey been like in this industry of network marketing?
Let's throw it back, shall we? Let's throw it back to 2014 when I'm pretty sure I was at the Sydney Opera House then, working in marketing and communications and corp comms. And I went to a networking function, sat next to a really lovely girl called Michelle. And she said, I'm going to retire from full time by the time I'm 30. And I was like, here's my card. I had no idea what she was talking about. I'd never heard of network marketing other than hosting a Tupperware, party at my house before. And that was a wellness company, a skincare and wellness brand. And I was with them for maybe 8 years. And I learned so much, but it was quite traditional. When you're out doing foot spas, I don't know, it just wasn't my jam. I could say something, but I won't. Anyway, so having a marketing and background and loving the online space, I started thinking there's got to be I don't want to build all the systems myself, but I know that there are better ways to work. I want more coming to me and less me going out to people personally or reaching out. And so I went to my last company. So I've had 3 companies. But, you got to trust your instinct. When something's not right, don't just stay there because of a sense of loyalty or, like I have to do because I'm a lifer. It's not a cult. You can leave. It's like the same as with a job. If you don't like it, you got legs. You can leave. Make a decision that's good for your family. So the second company I was in, it was a lot more of a, online marketing focus, good attraction marketing, had great success there, really fantastic success there. Loved it, but with some concerns and worries about the way that the upper echelons of management and who was pulling the strings, the puppet strings, above that with that company, and also the fact that our CEO kind of migrated across to my current company. I was like, everything just feels like I need to trust my gut again and make a move. And so I did that last July. And since July, starting again, it can actually, change can feel uncomfortable, but it can also be a good thing. Since then, we've built a 7-figure turnover in the first 8 months, and we're just continuing to kind of grow and go. And it's a really exciting time. So I'm very grateful to be here with legends of the attraction marketing space like yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm a big believer that every experience that we have is a stepping stone to where we're meant to be, where we're meant to be. Like I've been in a company where, quite similar to your experience with your previous company shutting its doors, but it's like, man, the writing's on the wall. This is serious. We're in a lot of trouble here. What are we going to do? We've got to get out before the ship goes down. And it's not a nice place to be. But I'm so grateful for all the mentors and the experience and everything that I learned in that company. Like I believe every experience sort of leads to where we're meant to sort of be. Obviously, everything that you've gone through has led you to the success that you're having now. So I guess for some people, they look and go, oh, they're so lucky. But, you've reached 7 figures in 8 months, but you've had years of experience also, obviously, and skills that you've been building up. But what do you think the main difference is? Obviously, you had success in your previous company, but you've had even better success with this company, with what's happened in the last 8 months. What really is the definitive things, the difference that creates that team culture and that vibe to have success like that? Like, what do you think the winning formula in a company kind of, and I know it's more than one thing. I'm sure there's a list of things that, make that up, but what do you believe it takes to be successful in the industry today? Not 5 years ago, like a few years ago, like companies that are not pivoting, especially with social media and attraction marketing and the environment and marketing and, all those kind of things. Like in this modern world of social selling and network marketing, what is it that you think has helped you achieve the results that you've had?
Oh, so many things. And I think it's a really relevant question, babe, because there's a lot of people who are looking at the moment, either, from that last big shake-up in the industry, and they're thinking, what do I do next? Or they're looking at their current situation and they're just kind of evaluating it. There's things you need to look for, most definitely. There's character traits that we need to cultivate. So maybe I'll talk about those first. The character traits that I have had to cultivate, because I was bad when I started. We all have to be bad when we start. But you know what? Your energy and enthusiasm will get you like 80, 90% of the way. But you've got to really lean into the personal development, the skills up leveling, the commitment to being consistent and showing up each day, particularly on the days when you don't want to or when your business isn't flying and you're like, I don't want to, it feels like you're pushing a boulder uphill when your business is not flying. But I tell you what, you are building character, you are like demonstrating grit, resilience. These are characteristics of a leader that you want in yourself, but you also want in your team. So if you want a team of leaders that are gritty, resilient, entrepreneurial, and they display, taking independent action, you need to do that yourself, right? Because you can't be like, leaning on someone all the time and then expecting, well, where are my leaders? It's like, well, are you doing self-leadership? if you can do self-leadership, then that's a really big piece of it. Don't you think, Helen?
Yeah, it starts with, like, we all want the dream team. We want, and this is something I talk about all the time, like, we want leaders that are self-motivated, and they do the work, and they show up on social media, and they're resourceful, and they show initiative, and like, there's a list of all these characters that we dream of for the perfect team members. But unless we are that ourselves, we can't attract that. So it always starts with us. It always starts with, you know, the traits that, if we expect that in our team or want to attract that to us, we've got to do that ourselves. So we've got to show up consistently. We've got to be positive. We've got to be enthusiastic. We've got to be motivated. We've got to create content when we don't want to create content. Like, you're a bit of a content machine. You're putting content out all the time. And don't tell me you always feel like you're creating content, because I'm sure there's times that you don't, but you still do it, Sarah, don't you? Because you know that that's what it takes. It's that consistency, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the consistency. I mean, when I don't feel like showing up, I do two things. I remind myself that I'll feel better after I show up, because I stop making it about me. And secondly, I think to myself, if this helps one other person, if this makes them smile, shows them something, teaches them something, connects with them in some way, then it's worthwhile. Because I think sometimes, you know, just going back to the self-leadership thing, like, it's normal for your team also to have ups and downs. They might not all be firing at the same time. And so does that mean that you opt out? No. So that is a really big quality that I've cultivated over time, is not letting the voices in my head win and take me out of the game. Because as soon as you allow yourself to be distracted by the extenuating or external circumstances that are telling you a story about who you are, how good you are, what your team is doing, or how successful you're going to be, you're out. You're out. You have to actually construct that narrative and live and show up that way every single day, despite the fact that your business might be down, your business might be flatlining, your team might be opting out. It doesn't matter, because the person that it's up to at the end of the day is not your team, it's up to you. So that's like my guiding. It's up to me. Self-responsibility and self-leadership.
Yeah. So I think for those of you listening and catching the replay, the very first thing that we can take from Sarah in her success with her team is that she's leading from the front. She doesn't make excuses. She's showing up and doing the do, even when she doesn't feel like it. And she knows if she's going to attract people to her team that she wants to work with, it all starts with her. So that self-responsibility for all of us is just so key. We've got to look in the mirror before we can even dream to build a 7-figure business in 8 months. We've got to look in the mirror first. So thank you for your honesty around that. I think it's a really important point to make, that, you know, if it is to be, you know, it is up to me. Like, it's got to start with us and our self-responsibility. So awesome. So there's probably so many things, but that really does have to be number one. I agree with you. In a nutshell,
that's like wrap that up in a bow and take that with you. And if something isn't working for you right now, figure it out. Basically, try and figure it out, and then go to your mentor and say, hey, this is not working. This is what I want to tweak, or this is what I need to change. And what do you reckon? And make some tweaks, because small changes over time can lead you into the direction that you are really meant to shine in your business.
Yeah. And something I say to my community quite often is, when something's, even when it goes right, actually, but particularly when it's not going right, you know, things are a little bit down. A question I always ask myself, and I encourage people in my community to ask, is, what do I need to learn from this? What do I need to learn from this? So when something's, you know, business is down or things aren't working, it's like nothing's working. That's not effective. It's not efficient to just go, nothing's working. It's like, what do I need to learn from this? Like, what do I really need to learn from this? It's like, okay, I need help, or I need to talk to my mentor, or I need some skills in my content, or I need to do reels better, or, you know, whatever it is, it's like, what do I need to learn? And it's that self-responsibility again in, what do I need to do? And if that's just reaching out to, you know, your mentor, your upline, sideline, et cetera, and having a conversation, at least that's a starting point. But it's taking that self-responsibility. Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
Absolutely love it.
So Self-responsibility, obviously, number one. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. If you can relate to that, put the word relate in the comments. So what else, Sarah? Obviously, that's a key component. What else do you think in this modern world of social selling, has contributed to your success?
I have to say, top of the list, attraction marketing. The game has changed from outbound to inbound. And when you can learn and nail and really feel into what attraction marketing is all about and how to master it, it's the energy of it is like nothing else. You start to create community and you start to create a brand that is magnetic, and you cultivate know, like, and trust with people in a way that is not predicated on the sale or the sign up. It is all around building influence and trust and being of service to people. And that is the nicest feeling in an industry that has traditionally had some ick. And so when I think about what do I need and what does my team need, we need to get the very best in attraction marketing, training systems like our company, our team, actually, it's not our company, but our team, we have an attraction marketing school that you get that is worth $10,000. You receive that when you sign up. Now, we take you through a 40-day launch plan first, which also teaches you attraction marketing, but then that is there for you to kind of do the deeper dive. So it means that you don't have to pay for all those courses anymore. You can dive into what is already provided and become a student of attraction marketing. Some people say to me, oh, I don't want to show up every day. I'm like, babe, it's not about that. It's about learning attraction marketing. Stop making it about you and learn the skill. And then it's not about you showing up. It's about I'm learning how to create a brand and cultivate community and trust with people. So that's so important to me. And that is something that is so specific. And we're so lucky to have the guidance that we have in our mentors and in you as well, Helen. And I'm a student of that, but I'm also a very enthusiastic student who always teaches what she learns as she goes. And I think that's an important thing to do so that we spread the love.
Yeah, I think if you've got leaders and a team culture that embraces attraction marketing, it is a game changer. And obviously that's played a huge part in the success of your team as well. Those old school strategies, and unfortunately there are a lot of companies that are still leading with old school strategies. There's a lot of teams and a lot of leaders that still teach old school strategies. And I would just, heed a warning around that. If you're in a company that teaches old school strategies, it'll be hard to really move forward in the future unless you're embracing attraction marketing is where it's at. But let me ask you this, Sarah. This is where I think there's a little bit of a false impression regarding attraction marketing. Do you never reach out to anybody? Do you just sit and create content and wait for everybody to come? Like you just create the content?
The best question ever, babe, because I think that people think because it's attraction marketing, I just post and then ghost. And where are my orders and and particularly after you've gone through a launch phase, you're going to have lots of inquiries. And people are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Orders are falling from the sky. And then they get through that first initial period. It's like the early parts of the romance where you're just all over each other and everything's amazing. You have got to cultivate relationships, and that is on you. That is not on someone else. Everyone else, you've got to remember, are very important and busy and important. So if you think that everyone's going to be watching your content because you're doing a great job of it, you are so mistaken. Like you've got to, this is DMO central. This is like, go and fix the algorithm, go and cultivate relationships, be in connection with people in a relevant way. You don't have to be icky about it, but yeah, like what would class as a reach out, I would class as a staying in touch with people who I would love to work with one day, or who I know I could really help as a customer one day. And for that, they need know, like, and trust, and we need to be in connection. So if that's what you call a reach out these days, I guess it could be classed as a reach out, but that is a really important part of business in this field.
Yeah, and I think that is a huge missing piece for a lot of people with really understanding attraction marketing is that, okay, I want to put content out there on social media and I'll attract all these people to you. But something I say often is there's two things that we want to concentrate on with building a business online: content and conversations. Now, if you're lucky enough, if you've got a big enough audience, a big enough brand, and big enough influence, the content will create the conversations. But even really big, strong leaders don't necessarily put a piece of content out there and have people flocking to them saying, where can I buy, or can I join your team? It's just, even for big leaders, it doesn't happen that way. So they still do relationship building, reach out, if that's what you want to call them. Like, it's a misconception that you just post and then basically still pray. So even Sarah, whose team has done 7 figures in 8 months, still cultivates relationships with people that she would love to work with in the future, right? That's basically what you've just said. Yeah.
1,000,000% yes. And the top enroller at our company, a girl who I adore her vibe. She's got high numbers of followers. She's on all the trips. She's, making 38% of like ridiculous personal retail numbers, as well as having a massive team. I listen in and learn from her as well. And guess what she does every single day? Orders are not dropping from the sky. She is in her Instagram and in her TikTok, and she is having conversations with people twice a day, every single day, because she does not expect the orders just to drop from the sky, even though she might have 500 comments saying more info, more info, more info. Even if you've got all of that set up, it still does not mean that the order is going to drop through. Why? Because people want to be treated like a real human, not like a transaction. And transactional marketing is out and relationship marketing is in. And the good news is you don't have to have a lot of followers. You can be a micro influencer. The rise of the micro influencer is like stronger than the traditional influencer. And I'll tell you why, because micro influencers have closer relationships of know, like, and trust than their bigger counterparts. So some people hear all this stuff and they think, yeah, but I couldn't do that. I've only got 1,000 followers. Wrong, because it is a trend for the micro influencer to have more influence. And so go out there and shine your light.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully what you're hearing from this conversation as well is not only the consistency of the content, but the consistency of the relationship building. And this is the industry that we're in. We build relationships with people, and we come from a place where how can we help somebody? How can we make somebody's day better? How can we nurture a lead and make them feel heard and seen, rather than what can I get from social media? Where the sales aren't falling out of the sky. Like, it really is about the relationship building, which is obviously a huge part of what you do and your team does as well. So let's get a little bit more specific regarding the systems that the team has. And I know them well, I use them as well, but just to highlight, what is the difference with the success in a team that's doing that kind of volume? What are the systems that you have in place that really set up a team for success? Because unfortunately, a lot of people join the industry and they get left behind, or they just don't know what to do, and they're kind of flying by the seat of the pants. What are the kind of systems that that is provided to the team from the leaders that really makes that duplicatable volume in a business that relates to large volume at the end of the day?
Yeah, so we've got stuff that I think is just basic foundational systems, things like having a central place for all of our resources. We use boards. Having a Facebook group that is regularly updated with great content and practical trainings and inspiration and personal development. Having a place for our customers, a VIP group for our customers where there's lots of testimonials and giveaways and excitement and live events, and that's run by leaders, and that is a leverage for the rest of the team. So that they're like the basics. If you don't have those, and you're like, oh, I'll build that myself. My God, please don't. Go and find a leader that you respect and admire and plug and play with their systems rather than having to build it yourself, because you'll just burn out. It takes months, years to build those kinds of systems. Then on top of that, it's things like, like product launches. You want to have everything ready to go. So you want to have assets ready to go. You want to have a live event ready to go. You want to have scripts ready to go. You want to have follow-up ready to go. Like, how do you get all of that together? Well, that all needs to be set up and ready, and social media ideas that are going to perform. All of that needs to be, I think, a part of what the team do together, so that we're all paddling in the same direction, because energy is everything and everything is energy. And when you've got it all set up and everyone can just kind of dive in and make it their own, to their brand, then you're going to have success. And then on top of that, I think this is where we really shine, is providing that additional value of stuff that you would normally have to pay thousands of dollars for. So it's the Attraction Marketing School. Like, some of the tips I have picked up from doing that have changed my business, and they have made me money and saved me money and time as well. And then the other thing that we released recently as part of a 4-figure blueprint that we're running is ready-made, done for you sales funnels. So all you need to do is go in, and for people who are like, what's a sales funnel? It's like a lead magnet, like comment happy and I'll send you, or comment quiz and I'll send you my wellness quiz, or comment happy and I'll send you my something, or comment attraction and I'll send you my guide, or whatever it is. We've got these ready-made for people, and people don't know how to make these and implement them themselves. And what that's do is that will really future-proof your business and your brand, because it helps you build your list of leads off social media, which is really important. So that's unlike, this is what you're looking for.
Yeah, so we've got the foundational level that you mentioned, and some of you may have that in your companies from your leaders, hopefully, but then there's this next level. So at the foundational level, what Sarah was mentioning is like, we have boards. Some of you may be familiar with that. That's an app which has all the team resources built out that you can get access to on a computer and your phone. Facebook groups that are run by your leaders. Like as Sarah was mentioning, like a group for prospects, a group for the team, looking after the customers. So customer draws. So all the team's customers go in there, and then there's prizes, there's activities, there's live videos done from the leaders. Just like incredible resources there. But to have things like funnels that are built for the team, like you just mentioned, a blueprint, which I know helps create, it helps the team create 4 figures in 90 days. Like, to have that kind of training and those kind of things, that's what you're looking for to create this level of success. And think long term. Yeah. So I hope for some of you listening that you've got leaders that are creating these things for you. If you don't, you could choose to create them for yourselves. What I actually appreciate is the level of, when you are in a team with a whole lot of leaders, it's all shared and everybody contributes, because it is absolutely exhausting. I'm sure you've been there before, Sarah, as well, when you're the only one doing all of that down and there's none of that support. It is absolutely exhausting. I've run Facebook groups for my team before, and it's just the same couple of people, myself and somebody else, that would post. You try to keep everyone motivated, and it's just exhausting. So to have that strong leadership where all of that is provided for the team, I do think that's a game changer in this day and age. We have to be thinking about funnels. We have to be thinking about collecting leads that are off social media. We have to be thinking about collecting email addresses. It's the way of the future. So this is kind of
time. It is the way of the future. It's what everybody needs to be doing, and it's not something to be overwhelmed by. It's just get on top of it. Just get on top of it. And if you need help, ask Helen.
Yeah,
she's good. She's really good at that stuff.
So, what I would say to you is, if you are a leader, are there leaders that you can talk to that can implement some of these things, that if you don't already have them? The caution of warning, though, if you don't have much leadership support, it is exhausting. I've been there, I've done that. It's not what I wanted, anymore. And that's why I choose to work with the people that I do. And Sarah, I know that you're the same, because the collaboration of the leadership and the attraction marketing experts are like second to none. So this is kind of really where what you want to be looking at to be successful in this day and age. Is there anything else as a standout, Sarah, that you think has helped contribute to your, success in the industry?
Well, just picking up on what you're saying, I think something for longevity of success, not quick success necessarily, is that collaboration that you're talking about, because you need to work with people who they're really firmly planted where they are for the long run, and they see this as their home. Because if you've got people who are in the team as leaders who are just easily kind of distracted, there's always the chance, and I've had it happen before, that your uplines will leave and then you're like, oh God, it's just me. And that's when you really do start to burn out. So what I would say is, go find a place, or make sure you cultivate a true collaborative leadership and partnership style, because we do need to do all of this together. Everybody has got their own genius zone, every single person. And when, we even in our team, we collaborate across teams. We're about to launch an initiative for May that everyone's just going to be absolutely so excited about. That is something across teams as well, because we believe that everyone can go further together when we link up. So that's pretty rare, and that is pretty valuable for the longevity of the growth of your business and yourself.
Yeah, and I think that kind of collaboration in this day and age is more important than ever. And, hopefully you have that in your companies. But I just really hope you get an insight as to, somebody like Sarah, to her team creating 7 figures in 8 months. It's not an easy thing to do. So there's a success leaves clues. So there is a number of things that we've talked about here, from Facebook groups to systems, to a 40-day launch plan that you give the team, to funnels that you can give the team, to collaborative Facebook groups where the leaders are doing presentations and looking after your customers and giving away prizes, and all those kind of things. Like there is a number of things that you should be looking for, to be able to create this long-term success and strategy in the industry. Old school don't cut it anymore. We need modern marketing strategies, attraction marketing strategies, but we can't take away our own self-responsibility in that, our own consistency, our own enthusiasm and excitement for the industry, and being that person ourselves that has all those qualities, so we can attract a team full of those qualities as well. So, Sarah, if you can just please help me thank Sarah for giving up her time and sharing some of the things that have helped, create the success that she's had in the industry. You're a pleasure to work with. You're a delight, Sarah. Your team loves you. You provide so much for your team. You're like a guiding light for the industry, honestly. So I hope those that are listening to this live got something out of it that can sort of help you really see what it takes in this day and age to be successful. And it's possible for everyone. We've just got to take responsibility, for that. So
you can have fun. I only just found the comments, and Mel said, oh, I love your videos. You're so funny and entertaining. I'm like, you can have fun, guys. It doesn't have to be serious. I mean, you could look at my socials and think, all she does is dance around to bloody unicorn. I don't know what else she does. Yeah, there's a whole big business behind that. But I use social media and my brand, as a kind of creative escape and a way to be silly and fun and connect with people, because I know that for everybody, life is so serious. That's just me. But you don't always, you can have fun building your business. So I encourage you, go out there and do something fun today and record it. Life is meant to be fun and joyful.
And I'll come back to one of my mottos, which you've heard me say many a time. If you're not having fun in business, you're doing it wrong. You got to find, the right people to work with that are going to have fun with you. And don't be afraid to show up on social media and have some fun, because life is very serious for most people. Everybody's dealing with stress in a different way. Most people have a really busy life. So if they can open up your social media and something comes across their feed from you and it just puts a smile on their face, or even a bit of a giggle, then they'll remember you. So we do have to have fun. I got 2 mottos. One is be a human before a marketer, which goes back to all the relationship stuff we were talking about at the beginning of this video. And if you're not having fun in business, you're doing it wrong. So I think, you know, finding a team to work with where you have a lot of fun, it's really an important part of, you know, getting through the roller coaster that this industry can be. Hey, Sarah. And, you know,
1,000,000%.
meeting up and have margaritas, which we've done before and we will do again, is you know, all part of the experiences and the memories that we make in this industry. So thank you for joining us, Sarah, sharing some of your wisdom. Congratulations on all your success, and I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more. We appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Oh, it was such a great chat. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.